Hey everyone, what's going on? Thank you so much for taking your own time to check out this review, whether you are brand new here or whether you are a returning subscriber. I appreciate you taking your time out to check out this movie review, where thankfully last night to my local cinema, Cineworld, they had a preview screening of a movie that is scheduled to release here in the UK on February 25th, and that movie is called The Duke. Now, The Duke came out originally in Venice Film Festival last year, but it is a brand new release in the UK in 2022, and I believe it's also coming out in America around springtime. And the movie itself is actually directed by Roger Michell, or Michell, I'm not too sure how to pronounce his surname. But before we go any further, I do want to say that my thoughts and condolences are with his loved ones and families, as Roger did pass away last September, and I believe this was his final movie. Anyway, The Duke is based on a true story set in Newcastle, which is only about 30 minutes from where I actually live. It's really cool to see the sights in this movie, also cool to see Newcastle and Durham, and yeah, definitely some of these locations I am very familiar with, so that was really awesome to see that. Anyway, Roger Michell's filmography includes big hits like Notting Hill, for example, Venus, Changing Lanes, and the cast of this movie includes Jim Broadbent, who plays our main title character of Kempton, Bunton. We've got Helen Mirren, who plays Dorothy Bunton. We've got Matthew Goode, Anna Maxwell, Fionn Whitehead, Jack Bandera, and Amy Kelly, all starring in this movie. So what is the plot ultimately of The Duke? Well, it's essentially around based in 1961. Kempton Bunton is a 60-year-old man who travels down to London to steal the gorgeous portrait of the Duke of Wellington from the National Gallery in London. And when the authorities find out that the portrait's been stolen, they're on track to try find this mastermind to bring them to justice. So what are my quick overall thoughts of the movie before I get into it? Well, it is a very charming movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and let's get straight to my positives. This was, as I said, a charming movie. I love the performances of Jim Broadbent and Helen Mirren, who play Kempton and Dorothy Bunton. They really well meshed together in terms of their chemistry is fantastic. I loved seeing these two on screen, and also their portrayals of a Geordie accent, which is a Newcastle accent. They really honed in on it and embodied it, and I think that they did great as well. It definitely really sold you an element of they were based in Newcastle, which, yeah, they're obviously not, but yeah, you know, it's just a case of they really embodied the accent, and all round the casting is great. Do I wish that I saw some more of the casting in more bigger roles maybe? Yeah, for sure. But overall, casting was fantastic, whether it was our two leads or whether it was the two sons, played by Fionn Whitehead and Jack Bandera. And they really you felt that family environment. There was definitely challenges between all four of them at times, and you really felt that this was a close family, despite any kind of misconceptions that happened or any times where they had minor falling outs. You could definitely tell that they were a family, and I love the location use of Newcastle. You can clearly tell they shot this on location. This wasn't like a green screen effect, and that for me was just really brought more into the believability factor of the movie. And I love that because, again, I live 30 minutes from Newcastle, and they also show Durham Prison in here, and I actually live in Durham, so I recognised all the sites that they used for the filming, and I really wish I knew that they were filming this movie in Newcastle, because I would have loved to have seen them maybe shooting a bit of this movie, you know. So I really got to give praise to the location and the cinematography use in this movie, and also the casting as well, because it's very strong. And I also really felt compelled by the story about Kempton Bunton play out in front of me, because this man, Kempton Bunton, that shows in the trailers, he is an older man, and it's all about this television license and all about him helping people, because over in the UK you've got to pay for a TV license if you have a television that goes towards a service that plays live television. Anyway, over here in the UK, if you're over a set age, you do get it for free, or you used to anyway. I'm not too sure on the law of that at the moment, but back in 1960, he was trying to help other people, and he's always tried to do that all his life. He's an honest, genuine, hard-working man. you know. And one thing I can really relate to with that is the fact that with the TV license, you know, old people shouldn't have to personally pay that because they have the TV maybe as their last port of in life about the loneliness. It is, as Kempton Bunton says in this movie, the modern version of loneliness and a coping mechanism for that. And to an extent, I certainly agree, for sure. So I really did enjoy this movie, and I found myself pleasantly surprised, invested, and also the comedy and humour used in this movie was great. I found myself laughing and chuckling to myself quite a few times, and I just really enjoyed this movie. If I have any negatives for it, I have a little minor couple, which I guess are like little gripes. Firstly, I would say like the cinematography use at times, I felt like they could have maybe used a different kind of maybe like lens effect on it, because this is set in 1960s, and by all means when Kempton Bunton travels down to London, we certainly see some kind of archival footage shot of the 1960s, which really helps you pay into that believability factor that is set in the 1960s. But then when he goes into London and is set in this office, it looks kind of very modernized, although they're obviously wearing the older clothing for sure, and there's bits around that helps sells the aesthetic of the 1960s. I just wish the camera lens was a little bit more on how there is in some shots, because in some shots it shows Jim Broadbent's character of Kempton Bunton in the 1960s, and there's the effect used, which looks great. And I was like, wow, that really does look kind of very old and classical, and I just wish that effect was kind of used throughout the movie. And I would have liked them to maybe even extended this movie by say 10-15 minutes and really maybe explored a bit more about Kempton Bunton's character, because I was really invested in him and I want to know more about him, and I'm certainly going to read up more about him after this review for sure. And I'm not too sure about this movie how accurate it is to the original source material of this based on true story. So maybe if you're a huge fan of this true story, maybe the film has slight differences, you might not be a big fan of that. So overall, Roger Michell's last movie, The Duke, I had a blast, and I really am gutted that Roger did pass away, because I would love to have seen what movies he would have made maybe after this one, because I can see definitely anyone who goes to see this movie is going to find it an entertaining movie. So with all that in mind, my overall score for The Duke is... So if you've seen the movie yourself or you're planning to see the movie, leave any and all your comments down below in the comment section. Also, if you've liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And until the next time that I see you, I'll be seeing you later.